So as you can see here is the one side of the Ikseondong Hanok street. It looks really calm, right? But when you go inside, it's really vibrant and busy. There are so many commercial areas like the coffee shop, accessory shops, and other things as well. Hello guys, today I am visiting the Jongno station. Do you guys know where is the most popular and vibrant area among young people? You might know Hongdae or Itaewon station, right? But nowadays, most trendy area is the Jongno station. From now, I'm going to show you the Jongno station. So as you can see here, it's really vibrant. There are so many young people. Right now it's 6:15 p.m. There are so many people. So probably like the young people after their work, they just visit here and then try to enjoy like the drinking soju outside the table. Have you ever seen K-drama? Something like young people after work gather together on the outside of the table and then they start to drink soju and eat Korean foods and they are talking about their personal stories and they start to cry. Yes. Are you able to see the red stools here? Which can be called 포장마차. 포장마차. Yes. Actually, 포장마차 is the old-timers' nostalgia, but ironically nowadays, lots of young people visit here. So this area is getting more popular and trendy area. So from now on, we are going to explore more hidden gems of this area. Here is our first hidden gem, Ikseondong Hanok Street. Do you know the meaning of the Hanok? Which means Korean traditional house. Korean traditional house, which means like the Korean traditional tile. And you know what happened 25th of June 1950? Korean War happened. And before the Korean War, most of the Korean people used to live in Hanok, Korean traditional house. But right now, only 2% of Hanok areas remain. And most of the Hanok areas are commercial area. From now on, let's explore the Ikseondong Hanok Street right now. So you're able to see the self-studio, right? The number of the self-studio indicates the really trendy and popular area. So here is the self-studio combined with the Korean traditional house style. Not only that, you are also able to see the coffee shop mixed with the Korean traditional house. This is incredibly amazing because this is the coffee shop with the Korean traditional house. This is the most famous and popular coffee shop inside Ikseondong Hanok Street. This is really cool. I can't believe this is the coffee shop. You're able to see the cartoon style drawing here. Something like the graffiti. This store is for like the caricature. You're able to draw your own face. Nowadays, this area is really popular and trendy as well. When you go inside, then you can just sit down on the chair. Artist or designer start to draw your face. So sometimes when you're traveling in Seoul, when you see this traditional house, you feel really like the traveling, just lively traveling. Here is the hidden place, which are really good for photo shooting. If you're really curious about this place, I'm going to let you know the neighbor map address so that you're able to visit here. If you want to know more hidden places, then you can just reach out to me, or you can just subscribe my YouTube channel and set the alarm so that you're able to get more useful information when it comes to traveling in Seoul. So from now on, I'm going to show you the best place for photo shooting, let you know some of the proper poses. If you find this kind of wall, Korean traditional house, you can just lean into this wall, like this way. And then you can just pretend to touching something, like your camera or other things as well. Look up the sky, or sometimes just look down as well. Repeat this action then your friends or your photographer will like the capture and photo shoot you really like naturally, so then you're able to get more candid photos. So for example, like they look up, thinking about the definition of the life, and then look down, and then look into the camera focus, or just put your both hands into the pockets. Or if you feel awkward, just look into the phone like this way. Just glue to the phones. This makes you feel more comfortable. That's my recommendation. Look at this. I love roads. This is really romantic. I just imagine like the Romeo and Juliet. Just Juliet is on the second floor. Romeo is standing here waiting for the Juliet. I love this narrow alley. Narrow alley with many restaurants, coffee shops, or dining establishments. Also table outside, and people gather together. It looks more vibrant. That's what I really like. And not only like the visiting and traveling, but also it's really good for dating as well. So from now, I'm going to show you really super vibrant area, which is about the Korean barbecue alley. There are so many people make the queue and they're waiting for the Korean barbecue outside the table. There are so many people enjoying the Korean barbecue right now. Oh, this is amazing. This is really amazing. Actually, here is my personal recommendation to visit here. Try to build a locker. You do not just go to like the famous restaurant, just well known by travelers. Sometimes you need to experience the local things, which only Korean people, which only local people know. So Ikseondong Hanok Street is really vibrant and busy. But right now we are going to visit really quiet and hidden place for Hanok areas, which residents live. So right now we are going to explore the hidden Hanok areas. Be quiet. Residents leave now. So here is really quiet. I love this traditional house. One of my bucket lists is to live inside the Hanok Korean traditional house. Yeah, here is really quiet. You know, while studying the Korean history, and sometimes I start to study Korean housing architecture from the past. So Hanok area, I'm really fascinated by the Hanok. If I become the millionaire, I just want to build my own house, which is the Korean traditional house. I want to live there. I just want to introduce the Hanok architecture and history as well. Are you able to see the palace over there? That is the Changdeokgung Palace, which is the UNESCO World Heritage. There are 5 main palaces in Seoul. Gyeongbokgung Palace, which is the first and oldest one. Second, Changdeokgung Palace, which is the UNESCO World Heritage. Third one, Changdeokgung Palace, Gyeonghigung Palace, and Deoksugung Palace. Gyeongbokgung Palace Last year, over 3 million visitors visited Gyeongbokgung Palace, and 2 years ago, like the 1 million visitors traveled to the Gyeongbokgung Palace as well 2 years ago. But Gyeongbokgung Palace is not the UNESCO World Heritage, but Changdeokgung Palace is a UNESCO World Heritage. Can you take a guess why? Gyeongbokgung is the replica, Changdeokgung Palace is the original one. Here is the Korea. Okay, so from now, let me tell you some of the historical background. Just remember 1392 to 1910, which was under the Joseon dynasty. 3 things you have to know when it comes to Joseon. First, Joseon was a kingdom ruled by a royal family member. Second, you guys already know South Korea and North Korea. But right now, during that period, we were one country at that time. And the last one, Joseon was under the agricultural society. I just want to let you know one really important information. As you can see the Changdeokgung Palace in my background, you are able to see the mountain. Mountain in your back, water in front of you, which can be called Feng Shui area. When I go straight, then I'm able to visit to Cheonggyecheon stream, that is the water. So when it comes to our ancestors' ideology, they believe that good land has good fortune. What's the best condition as a good land? As I mentioned earlier, Joseon dynasty was under the agricultural society. So the best condition to increase the productivity of the rice or other grain as a fertile land, water in front of you, mountain in your back, Feng Shui area. So when it comes to 5 main palaces in Seoul, most of the palace behind, there is the mountain. And in front of the palaces, there should be water. So king and queen used to be looking for the best areas for Feng Shui area. Did you get it? Here is the Joseon dynasty. On the right side, Japan. On the left side, China. But China was not one country at the time. Ming dynasty, which is the southern China, including Hong Kong, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, blah, blah, blah. Northern China, which is the Qing dynasty. You can just imagine like the Beijing, Shanghai, blah, blah, blah. And other dynasties and small minors, including Tibet or Uyghur, something like that. So, Qing dynasty were a constant threat to the Joseon. Japan continued to invade Joseon. And Russia, Mongolia, oh my god. So when the war happened, the main target is the Gyeongbokgung Palace in order to capture the king. So when the war happened, king just flee to other palace, which is the Changdeokgung Palace. Changdeokgung Palace was surrounded by the mountains, so the enemies didn't discover and find the Changdeokgung Palace. That's why Changdeokgung Palace is the UNESCO World Heritage. One more information about Changdeokgung Palace. Have you ever heard Secret Garden inside the palace? That is the Changdeokgung Palace. So my personal recommendation, you have to go to Changdeokgung Palace, then you have to enjoy and feel the real palace lifestyle. At the same time, the nature, the great harmony with the nature and the palace. Yeah, that's my recommendation. Right now it's about 8 p.m. So, wow, there are so many people right now. In my background, you're able to see many red stalls. More and more young people gather together here immediately after finishing their work. So I can't believe that because 3 years ago, mostly young people just go to Itaewon or Hongdae to hang out and drink alcohols and just talking each other, something like that. But here nowadays, from the last year, more and more people visit here. And even some travelers notice that, wow, many young people gather together here. There are so many queues and they are waiting for the table. As my anticipation, if this viral and trendy goes well, there are more and more bars, clubs, and other the places, popular or trendy things will be formed here. I'm pretty sure, maybe in 1 year or 2 years, year after year. And I already returning back to our original place, the starting point. So how do you feel about Jongno Samga area? You're able to feel old and the new, vintage and the trendy things. There are many young people. They are hanging out together. But for me, I just want to go back home. Bye bye.
내 집에 있다가 나와라. 이거 보고 있어. 갔다.
Are you tracking me? Are you tracking me?